Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Truth from the Booth. This is episode number 25, and today's very special guest I am honored and humbled to have in the studio, in the booth today. He is a DJ, an entrepreneur, a father, a husband. He is a summer of sound at the local wineries here in Temecula. You like that? I like that.
Oh, yeah.
He is none other than Dave Rukus. What's up, DJ Dave Rukus? Welcome to The Truth from the Booth. Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by, man, taking the time to sit here and chat with us. I've definitely been on my list of getting in here and sharing a little bit about what you got going on, who you are, where you've been, and where you are going, my friend. So first off, Dave Rukus. Okay, so yes, ruckus. I love that word ruckus. I've always used it, probably from my Wu-Tang fanatic days as a teenager, bringing the ruckus, Ruckus Records, Ruckus, you know, it's a great name for Rowdy. But for me, I don't know that Rowdy Dave Rukus. I know a reserved, calculated, calm, always has his wits and about him, chooses his words wisely. Where does that name come from? And is that more of your DJ persona?
Okay, so check this out. When I first moved out to Temecula, I was going by another DJ name before I moved out here.
From where did you come from?
I moved from Delano, California in the Central Valley, and I was DJing out there, and I was going by the name D-Rock, right? Typical, easy name, whatever. But when I came out here, there was already a D-Rock in San Diego already, and we actually met, which is crazy. We met at this Universal Music Group DJ event with like Snoop Dogg and stuff like that when all the radio stations would get together. And we met, it was cool. But when I came down here, he had the name first, and I just did it out of respect to change it.
You know what?
I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. And that is so honorable and respectful because I have an issue at the moment with a DJ Prophet in Saratoga Springs, New York, who decided that he was going to name himself that. And I've been DJ Prophet for almost 30 years now on flyers and parties and traveled the world. But I guess he didn't Google or didn't care. But when we found him, I hit him up. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I've already established his name. He's like, oh, well, I'm in a different state and a different market. And we're not doing the same thing genre wise. I'm like, dude, this world is small. It's going to cross over.
There's another Dave Rukus in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So do you have your stuff trademarked? Yeah. Okay. Well, I said,
it's okay. I think I need to because there's another good, well-known DJ out here in this area. Same thing like you. He had to change his name because somebody had trademarked his original name, and I'm like, he's had it for almost 30 years, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, the disrespect is real, and that's okay.
I changed mine though.
Yeah, it's a lesson, and I appreciate you changing yours. This guy should change his, but he's being a buster and still reporting me. He's like taking down my old calendars. But I do feel bad for him. This is why I have compassion for him. At first, I was pissed, but as I've grown and matured, I feel bad for him actually because every time I make a new fan and they tag me on some kind of social media thing, they tag him. So he has to see that. And I've got every single time. And I work a lot. Consistently for a long time.
We work every weekend.
Sometimes I was out 5 days a week in my prime, baby. But, and I just feel bad for him after all, like, it just really must irk him anyway. But much respect to you for changing it.
So that's how I don't know why I don't know how I started with ruckus because just like you said, that word ruckus, I don't know, I just liked it. Do you remember that scene in the movie Breakfast Club? He's like, what was that sound? What was that ruckus?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's tough. It's a tough name.
I love I like that word. I just stuck my name in front of it. I didn't like dig deep, and I was like, dude, I just need something. This sounds cool. I just rolled with it, and it just stuck.
Nice. Yeah, I dig it. And and you're around town making the making the jams. You always have the classy spots, man. I don't, I see you doing the wineries.
There was before that. There was stories
Yeah, so
before
I
that.
want to hear that side because I want to know the ruckus.
Man,
When you first came to Temecula, is that when you, or when you were up, where did you come from? Central California?
Central
Where?
Valley. So
Central
okay,
Valley.
so yeah, Central Valley, Delano, California. So I was doing a lot of, like house parties, weddings, quinceañeras, all that stuff. But I got I wouldn't say big break, but what got me even more known was I got into radio. I was on B95 in Fresno. I was a part of the Unfadable Mix Squad with G-Man, DJ Herb, John Magic, all these guys, dude, all these dope guys I like listen to and stuff. And like, so this is a cool story. There was actually a DJ competition for the station, and there was like over 30 something DJs, and I'm only like 20 years old at the time. So you had to compete live on the air,
Wow.
like live on the air, bro. No pre-record. Like if you messed up, you messed up.
Yeah, because there is no hiding in
And
radio.
it was vinyl.
Yeah. Oh,
It was vinyl still. It was still vinyl, dude.
wow.
So it was a lot of nerves, man. I just remember I won my round, went to the semifinals, and then made to the finals, and it was just like out of like 30 something DJs, I ended up winning the whole thing. So that's how I got my spot on the station.
Oh, that's dope.
Dude, it was like dude, it was like that was kind of like my dream. So when I started 16, I was like, dude, I want to go on the radio. I want to do all this stuff. At 20 and 4 years later I made it on the radio, and like it was tight, and I was like dang, this is it, like TJ life on the station, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was like it was a high, dude, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely recognize that because your mixing is clean, bro. So
thank you.
yeah, and that comes from, I mean, you just can't get cleaner than having to be clean on vinyl, and on the air on radio.
On the air, dude.
That makes a different monster, man. Before the sync button, I swear, it
We
made
had this
you,
conversation about
yeah,
sync before.
we did, but you had to be
Yeah,
clean. I mean,
there was no room for error, there was none.
no.
No,
And shout out to guys like Steve Dubb and Eddie Express, who
dude,
are some of the
Steve
cleanest.
Dubb.
Mr. Chalk, I mean, Melody, these guys were so clean on the air and in real life.
Yeah,
That is just, that was the standard you had to be up to. And yes, being the
yeah,
radio was the dream because that means you made it. You're like the best in
dude.
your area.
Yeah, dude, that's how I got good. So when I would go shopping for records, I would drive down to LA like every other 2 weeks to buy records, and who's on the radio? Melody and Mr.
Yep.
Chalk.
Yep.
And dude, they were killing it, bro. Like,
Rushing. Yeah.
I'm like, how do these guys do this? I'm like, it was just a different world. And every time I came out here, I was just excited to listen to the radio, which is crazy to say, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Nobody says that anymore.
yeah, because there's the freedom has been taken away from the DJ, and the mix show
Yeah,
has become non-existent. It's all a
it's all
programmed algorithm
yeah,
based system that does not cater to the people that are actually the real tastemakers, which are the DJs. The DJs have
yeah,
become just puppets of, I mean, no disrespect to my radio brothers and sisters, but
yeah, yeah, same.
they don't have any freedom. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Mhm.
have, there's no gimmies anymore, really.
Well, even
It's,
when I was at the station, there's lists of songs, right?
oh yeah,
You
we had
you
it too
can
at
only
K Day.
play, you can only play whatever's on those lists,
And
and
do
they
not
have to be
plays.
and do not plays. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh dang, we're running this, and I'm like, yo, how many times we gotta play this
Over and over. And
over and over? It's like a
between
program
within the hour, because the next
within
DJ
the
who's made the
hour.
mix after you is going to play the same damn songs, and the list got smaller
Yeah,
and smaller, and it just, as soon as they start
yeah,
taking creativity and freedom away, that's when I started rebelling really hard in radio.
yeah.
And that's when my time was over, because as soon as they put handcuffs on me for anything, that's just the type of guy I am. If I get micromanaged, I have to
Yeah.
find a way out. I just can't deal with it. I need to have my creative freedom in order to thrive.
Oh, dude, yeah,
And they've really taken it away on the radio, and they took it away in the nightclubs for a while, in the major nightclubs. That's why I got out of those. They start
yeah.
the bottle service influence requests, was out of control. Yeah,
I've
radio.
heard crazy stories. So I've done like some bottle service clubs, but I never had like a residency in those bottle service clubs. But I've heard some crazy stories, like to the point where some DJs had to play like songs 10 times in a row, the same, because this table's spending so much money. And I'm like, oh my god! And then everyone's staring at the guy, the DJ. And I'm like, dude, that sucks. I would hate to be in that position.
Yeah, every time they bring out a bottle, you have to play their theme song. So throughout the night, as soon as you see that bottle, the bottle girl comes up to you and tells you, "Hey, we got so and so table over here is about to drop this. Can you play this?" Every time they bring a bottle out. Sometimes it's like theme, like the Chicago
Multiple
Bulls theme
times.
music. Yeah, out of nowhere, you
Some
just got to drop
crazy
it and
stuff.
kill the whole vibe in the club. So everyone stops and looks at the
DJ
or the person that the
or the
bottle's
people.
going
Yeah.
to. You know, at first they look at the DJ like, "What the fuck," and then they go, "Oh, this fucking asshole." It's
Yeah,
stopping
it's
the
like,
music.
oh,
Yeah,
man,
but
like
people
20
understand
bottles.
that. Yeah, and that's what people want to do. They want to stare and, you know, stand around and drink bottles, and that's why, you know, the smaller bar scene seems to be more flourishing for creative freedom when it comes to open format DJing.
You can play all kinds of stuff in there now. You can get away with a lot in there.
Yeah, you can,
Basically.
but and I talked about this with Rico
Yeah.
on the last episode, was like, do they though? Do the local DJs take the risks of playing a lot of shit that you can't play somewhere else? I think a lot of the newer DJs anyway, and I don't mean just younger, but I mean like people that haven't been doing it that long, just play the bangers of the pop, you know, and just act like dive bar is a nightclub, and a dive bar is not a nightclub. It's so much more open format than
It's
that.
so much more open for me, yeah.
Because you got a
Do you think
60.
that I was thinking like do you think that has to do with how they learned? That's what I was thinking too, because the way you know what I'm saying? Like I remember you know, I sound like an old head, but back in the, you know, we would get together. It's like maybe it's like the people they learned or how they learned.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit of
It's all
both.
of that, yeah.
It is a lot of them didn't get into it because they have a real deep passion for music. I think a lot of newer DJs are getting into it for the deep passion for attention and the deep passion for the adrenaline rush that it takes to that it gives you through the music and through people partying with you and the playing somebody else's music that's a hit and people sing along. I mean, you know, the rush, you turn down the volume, they're singing the hook. Like it's a definitely an addictive drug and a dopamine
especially
hit
when you
that
got
hits.
when we're in the pocket and
Yeah.
you just got them. You're like, oh dang, you know.
Right.
It's just
But we had to learn, we had to dig for music. You know, you mentioned going to record stores.
Oh, I missed that.
You know, that was part of it, like making the journey and what this gas money you had to spend to drive around to 5 different stores, or you make a trip to LA with your boys and your homies and you're smoking and you go into the record store and dig, and you go to Fat Beats and you see all the beat junkie guys and the legendary DJs and
they're just there working.
And they're working the register, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember just those butterflies of going up there and them judging the records that I'm buying. But I was buying the records that they played on Friday Night Flavors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That they recommended me. So those were my teachers.
I remember being told by the guy at the register. I don't know who was working the register. It was at Fat Beats, but it wasn't the Beat Junkies. It was some random guy. And I just remember he looked at the record. He's like, "Oh man, this shit's whack." I was like, "At least he told me that," because at the time it really was. I think I forgot what record it was, but I bought doubles of this track, and like it was hot at the time, but it was only hot for a little bit.
Yeah, and they weren't, you know, and they, you know, the commercial shit was, we used to bang on it. You know what I mean? Like, I even remember when I was first at the radio station at Power as a street team guy, flavor unit. My whole thing was like, dang, they're playing whack shit on the air. I'm so glad they don't make me play that Lil Jon and all the, you know, pop, hip hop era, electro hip hop era. But then, you know, look at us now, 20 years later, playing all those same hits that I hated.
Dude, those hits
are now the hottest records.
Those hits came back, man, like the Young Jock and like you know they called it back then. They called it snap music.
Yeah, snap or crunk, or the crunk.
Yeah. So like back then, I was like, and then it came back, and it came back like even harder than they originally came.
Right, because these kids hit the, you know, they hit the trends, and now, you know, it's brand new to them.
And then also too, they were like like younger kids. Not old enough to go in the club, so they go in the club. And they're like, "Yo, I remember this song. I was a kid. I wasn't old enough to go, you know."
Right, but they was doing the dance at home with Unc and Auntie.
They were doing that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they get
Soldier Boy,
yeah, and they get to live it out now. Yeah, man. So okay, so you started in the private event as a mobile DJ, and then moving to Temecula. I know when I first moved here, I knew of you because of the wedding scene and the wineries, and people had told me that you were, one of the top DJs out here. That was, actually a guy that was authentically, DJ turntablist, not just a mobile DJ leading the Macarena during the wedding's reception. And so talk to me about a little bit about that transfer, because for me personally, I know that when I moved here was a culture shock.
What year did you move here?
I moved here about 9 years ago from Los Angeles. And it was right before the pandemic. Yeah, it was right before the pandemic. Yeah, you were here.
So this was like 2018, 19?
Maybe, yep, it was about 19.
Okay,
18, about 18, 19, right at the end of 18, I believe.
Okay.
And I moved out here, and I was still driving to LA 5 nights a week because I couldn't find nothing to do out here or work,
Wait, were you coming out here though, like 2000?
I was, yeah, because of Jerwin. Do you know Jerwin?
Of course I know Jerwin.
Everyone knows Jerweezy. Yeah, we just talked. He's gotten 2 mentions on my last 2 podcasts.
Bro.
I got to bring him on. Me and him got so many stories, bro.
Dude, it's so funny, dude. His nickname was Forever 21. Because he's always 21, man.
He's like he's the Filipino Webster.
Bro.
But a teenage Webster, he actually got to.
Yeah. Bro, anywhere that was popping, dude, he was there.
Yeah, he was the original influencer. He still is. He runs, he's doing TikTok, Snapchats. And running social media for a bunch of local businesses. I mean, you know what? I'm going to text them today because that's that's hilarious.
All right. So this is a good segue.
Okay.
You came to Pachanga. You came to Pachanga.
Yeah.
It was like super late because I was working graveyard. So I was working, this is my job when I first moved out here. I was working in valet at the casino, and casino's 24 hours. I don't know if I got your car, somebody got your car, but because they knew I DJ'd, one of my coworkers, and you had gave a CD, a mixed CD. It said DJ Profit on there. And I remember, and like they gave it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go check this out. And I remember like, because I work graveyard, I got off like at 7:30 in the morning, and I popped it in, dude, and I was like, yo, this is dope, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was a mixed CD. I don't know if you were DJing at the club there. Were you?
I may have been.
Eagles?
Yeah, Eagle's Nest.
It
was the Eagle's Nest because my friend.
I think you were leaving.
Yeah, my friend is a tribal member there.
Okay.
And he's a dance choreographer as well. And I was doing his 40th birthday or something, or his wife's something family oriented up in the Eagle's Nest.
Super late. Yeah.
Yep. Man, that's crazy. Yeah. Small world. And then here I am.
Small world. And I was like, yo.
Fulfilling the prophecy. The prophet fulfills the prophecy.
Dude, I remember, man, like, because I used to make mixed CDs too, but you just had the thing on there. I said DJ Prophet. I was like, oh, damn, this is tight. And they were like, yeah, he's from LA. I was like, damn, that's tight.
Yeah. Me and, shout out to Gigi Sweet. DJ Gigi Sweet used to press all my CDs for me. Something like 300 for like $60 or something it was painted and came with a sleeve and like the whole 9. And that was
I had a spot in San Diego too. They would burn like hella CDs and do the thing for like cheap.
Yeah, that was my thing, man. Just keep the mixtapes going. I mean, I got my first gig in Hollywood or in LA when I first moved there off of a set that I recorded on tape, bro.
That's tight.
All right. So I gave it to the promoters like, yo, as a busboy, I'm like, yo, I DJ too, man. If you ever need somebody to open for the opener.
Hey, man, that's always the best though, man. Like, because there's always, you just never know. Like, I know it's very like dated now, but you kind of just never know sometimes.
Yeah,
now it's like flash drives.
Yeah, but I think that I've been reading up on the trends for physical, tangible copies of collectible things. CDs are back, man. I mean, Seabrook is selling CDs. SB is selling CDs. The record vinyl sales are up.
I need to go check it out.
Compact discs are up.
I still have a CD player in my Tahoe.
You do? Damn. I've been in there. I know that.
Yeah, a Kenwood.
Damn, CD Kenwood.
And it still runs.
Shout out to Master Ace.
Yeah, dude, there's no, exactly. Dude, this one, there's no Bluetooth, there's no Apple Play. Whatever you have, that's what you have. So I'm like, I think I only have a couple CDs. I think I have like Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. I have Kanye's College Dropout. And you're going to laugh, bro, but I have Will Smith's Big Willie Style.
I'm not going to laugh, bro. I have my original Case Logic zipper.
You still have the case?
I still have everything in there from my collection from high school. I used to have 2 Rockford Frostgate 12s in my 91 Tercel trunk, right?
Dang.
Rattling out. So before I had a stereo in there, I used to seat belt a boombox with batteries in the back seat and play my joints. But I still have my CD collection from 1993. So
yeah, that's dope. You probably got like Nirvana in there.
oh yeah, I got all that. And I have my uncle's
everything.
CD collection who's got an amazing eclectic from the 80s and his tapes. Like I told SB, man, I was like, dude, I got a nice little collection to like I could pop up at little vendor markets and dump, for a few for a few months if I wanted to break down my collection. But my point in saying all that is I think that getting that mix CD back, like being able to, like, here's my mix CD. Like now you got to go find a CD player, or now you got to go dig up a CD player, or when you get the opportunity, it's going to be an exciting treasure hunt for you for a lot of people, And I think that with the vintage style being in, that would be a dope promo of your mixes. I still got stacks of CDs, and they got to be cheaper than ever to make now, right? Because they're pretty much obsolete.
I don't know. I think back in the day, rest in peace, Rite Aid. They shut down all the Rite Aids, but Rite Aids used to carry
a burner.
All the blanks. They used not the burners. They used to carry the blank CDs.
Yeah.
But as far as a burner, I don't know, man. You would have to check like.
Well, man, people still have them. I mean, I'm sure Gigi Sweet still got it. I got to reach out, get her on the show, and have her.
Do you remember the big towers?
Yeah,
burn like 10 at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Remember what's his name when they raided his whole house? Was it DJ Drama?
DJ Drama, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, yeah, that's another thing is the licensing to burn it and put it out. But they were selling it. This was just people. The way you beat is by promotional items.
They were making a lot of money.
But yeah, they were trap housing that shit. They were They were selling that shit like crack.
Dude, yeah. Little backstory, man. So
yeah.
Let me go back a little bit. So I got into DJing because of my uncle and my dad. They were DJs in the 80s.
Wow, you're a second gen.
I'm a second gen. So the name of their crew was called Master Blaster Productions.
Oh, that's dope.
In Delano, California.
Yeah.
So I asked my uncle and my dad. They used to make mixtapes from the records, from the vinyl, and they would make custom mixtapes. Back then in the 80s, dude, they were selling for $10 a pop. That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah. Were they making them? Were they making them on what was that? What was that machine?
It was a home setup.
Okay.
The home Pioneer setup, I think. So they would. I don't know how they were blending because they had no control of the pitch.
Mm.
And I was like, well, how'd you guys do that? I don't know. They figured it out.
Cut and paste, man. Cut and paste.
But that's how they saved up to buy an actual setup, was selling those mixtapes,
That's dope. Did you inherit that from your parents and your uncle, or your dad and your uncle?
Their records? Bro, check this out. I have every single record passed down. That was my uncle's and my dad's and my grandma's, my aunts. Dude, I have them all. I don't know. Can I flip the camera and show you?
Yeah. No wonder you're such a head, bro.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Sorry, my dog's over here, but
it's all right.
How do you flip this?
I don't know if it probably won't flip there. Yeah.
These are just small, but I have all of them, dude. Like these are all. Let me bust one out. Let me see.
Are they alphabetical or BPM?
Nah, they're not. They're just by a year, I guess.
Okay, year. Okay.
Look at this, Luther Vandross.
Wow. With the lay down, the knee up.
I mean,
the album's fire.
Yeah, the emotion. I don't know, man. I have way too much, bro. I can like go through, but I never got rid of any of the records.
That's beautiful. That's legacy right there. That's legacy, right? That's legacy treasure right there.
Oh yeah, dude. I even so like rest in peace to my grandma, but I even have her old Vicente Fernandez records.
Wow.
Like, and I'm like, yo, this is really, really old, and they still play, dude. I'm like, this is tight.
That is dope.
I definitely pop to my uncle.
Yes, and I'm trying to do the same for my kids. They're not DJs, but I want that. I have my whole collection still. After all my friends sold and went digital, I kept every single record. For some reason, I have this deep connection to the vinyl, because even if it's a trash record, it's because as an artist, like, what's your dream as an artist? Is to get your shit pressed on vinyl, or get it pressed and get it out and distributed. Like, so that's when I throw away vinyl or get rid of it, I feel like I'm throwing away people's dreams. So
Dude,
it's kind of like a
I think
sentimental
about that.
hoarder thing.
I think about that too, man. Because I'm like, even though they're trash records, I'm like, yo, man, this is like somebody's hard work.
Straight up, this is
You know,
someone's
the
whole
writers,
life.
the producers, the engineers, the artists, the everyone who created the artwork, and I'm like, dang, we're just gonna like just throw it in, but it's gonna end up at Goodwill or
Exactly.
Savers Salvation Army.
I know. I feel like just like the label. Like once I'm done with the artist, I just throw it away.
Dude, that's so crazy, man. I still have like promo vinyl from the radio days.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then, like once, yeah, I didn't get a lot. I got like the tail end of it when I got into the station. But then everything went like, we would have all the digital files like first.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. See, I was
Yeah.
lucky enough to still be on those mailing lists. I got on those mailing lists early before I was even on
I missed
air.
those.
Yeah,
I
that
missed
was like the shit. Like you get the package, you open up the envelope or the box, and you see what's
Yeah,
in there, and the newest,
yeah,
hottest before anybody. Like, oh, that was like that's what I think kind of gave DJs like this upper hand. And that kind of separated us a lot more than like the ones that had the records and were getting serviced were
yeah,
like the way you separated the real professionals from the people on the come up, you
yeah,
know? And
yeah.
I think that since that has stopped, that's what kind of leveled the playing ground. Like now everybody has access to everything. So
Hmm.
people are confused with what a dope DJ is because they think just because they play the newest, hottest shit that they're or that they play their favorite songs that they're dope, not really connecting to like the skill set or or the or the or the manipulation of the psychology of ups and downs and peaks and valleys in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
DJ
yeah.
set, and they've been confused on just hit after hit after hit. I wanted to get back to your journey when you first moved to Temecula. Mentioned that you worked at Pachanga
Hmm.
as and
Yeah,
did
valet. Yeah.
yeah were you because was Silk still open at that time or just the
So
Eagles
yes,
Nest?
yes, dude, those were the best nights though. Those were the funnest nights because when Silk, when everyone was coming in, like or letting out of Silk, I worked from 11 a.m. to 7 a.m. So when everyone's getting out of the club, we're seeing everybody. Like
Yeah.
it gets packed. It was so busy, especially when there was like a celebrity DJ.
Yep.
Those were like the busiest nights. You know, we had like Paul Oakenfold. We had all the big ones, but I'll never forget the biggest night we ever had was when they had DJ Pauly D from
Yeah.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Dude, the line to get in that place was insane.
Yeah.
And I was like,
He's still a draw.
he's still killing it out there in Vegas, man. He has a huge cult following for sure.
You know, he's got that's a perfect word for it, cult, because he can do no
Yeah.
wrong. He can do no
No.
wrong.
No. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
He's like
uh,
yeah.
that celebrity DJ thing was
But he's still doing it though. That's what I was. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So,
Like
but he was a
he
DJ
was
before he was a
he
celebrity,
was
like
yeah. So
So
I
he
think
was
that's
that was his
where
craft, and I
he
know.
was DJing already.
Yeah, so for him, like I don't know him personally. I've never met him, but a lot of my mutual friends have said it's just a great guy and loves the art. The thing about him is like kind of like me. I'm not the greatest DJ in the universe, but I love the art. Like
Yeah.
I love DJs. Like I'm not competing with anybody. I
Yeah.
want to be inspired. Like, give me that feeling of yours. Ooh, you're crushing it. Like, I love that. And I think that he comes from that same cloth of actually respecting the art form of turntablism, and he knows his history. He's not just a bandwagon. He's got good relationships in the industry, respectful of it, as much as he can be. And, he's riding the wave. I mean, that's the DJ dream. I mean, once you hit that celebrity level,
Yeah.
you got to take advantage of it. You got to ride that wave, just like us when we're just
Yeah.
like us when
Yeah.
we're booked solid. It's a good wave. You got to, what can we do to stay on it, to keep
Yeah.
that wave going? As we know, DJ careers are wavy. It's tied in, tied out, sometimes
Yeah,
it's
dude.
dry.
I just
Sometimes you're popping. Are you a full-time DJ? Do you have a job still?
no, man. That's pretty much all I do. I think because I basically quit my job at Pachanga when my youngest son was born. So that was 2015. And I took the leap because like there was no one else that was gonna, we didn't have family out here that was gonna take care and like step in to help out with babysitting. So I was like, I'm gonna have to step up and then push DJing even more because I only had one gig at that time. This place called Bullpen. Rest in peace, dude. A lot of fun times at this place. You can ask anybody in town, man. This was like the spot. A lot of the local DJs know of there or have DJ'd there like plenty of times. It was like a fun spot. But yeah, that was like my residency on Saturdays. But that was it. That was it. But then after I quit my job, I was like, okay, I need to like gig more. And so like little by little, I started to get more and more gigs. And then after that, I slowly started getting to set the San Diego market quite a bit. Shout out Eddie Cutlass. He was the one that brought me on into the San Diego scene, like PB, downtown, Ocean Beach, like all these spots. And then I was in San Diego a lot for like 7 years straight. It was like every weekend, like 3 gigs. It was San Diego. Like I was out there a
because there
lot.
was nothing here in Temecula.
I mean, there was, but
But
like
not like
I didn't pursue it, like that. Like I just needed something more, man. Like
yeah. And San Diego,
you-
I mean, that's where you want to be. I
it
mean,
was a big market at that
it
time, man.
was.
It's
What year was that? Probably
huge.
that was like 2015.
It was no before that. I want to say like 2012.
Okay, yeah. San Diego was like
Yeah,
Vegas, San Diego, LA, or like Miami. Like it was on the map for
it was a big market. Yeah,
a
yeah,
huge
for
market.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
bringing
was
in
a
a
huge
lot of guest
market.
DJs, bringing in and flying in a lot of guys,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of big nightclubs.
It was like nonstop, man. It was so fun. It was so fun, man. And like I did the whole San Diego thing for about like like 7 straight years, and then just I feel like towards the tail end of it, I got burnt out. I got burnt out, man. I just sleep schedule, maintaining family
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I was going to school at the time too. I forgot.
Well,
I
yeah.
went to school in San Bernardino. Actually finished the whole program. I got my bachelor's degree in audio production.
Dope. Congratulations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I graduated. I think that was 2015 as well. The
Wow.
June of 2015. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that grind will give you, I mean, from San Bernardino to San Diego and home
yeah.
life, school,
So it was
studying,
like,
music,
yeah,
woo,
it was a lot. So
and
it was,
fatherhood
yeah, 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 for sure,
and having to
dude,
be a husband.
dude, yeah,
I mean,
man,
getting to be a husband.
yeah, man. Shout out to my wife though, man. She's been my rock, dude. Like stuck with me and like through all this. She understood.
Yeah.
She understood, man. Like it takes a really special like someone to like understand a DJ's lifestyle and like what it comes with. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have a woman that rocks with you, ride or die, bro, that you gotta like
You
because there's
got
a
to
lot that everyone doesn't understand. There's
yes,
a
and
lot.
my trust me, I married my high school sweetheart, so she knew me
Same,
before.
bro.
But yeah. Oh, see, so they
Yeah.
know, they know. You
Yeah.
know, it's funny that you and I have a parallel universe life. I've told you this before, but
Yeah.
both our wives are hairdressers, right?
Yeah, they
Hairstylists.
are.
Yeah, both of us are DJs.
Yep.
Massive vinyl heads, right? Like,
Big time. Yeah.
I mean, you still collect. I had to retire due to my addiction of purchasing vinyl, and I got 3 kids.
I got two.
Okay, so you're right behind me. So,
Yeah. I know. Trust
yeah,
me.
but yeah, man, it's crazy to see that. And we talked off air about that, about the similarities of a lot of us that are deeply passionate about music share a lot of same experiences. It's just the details are different.
Yeah, it's just I feel like everyone's kind of chosen a path and like there's just like different things that happen each path you take and it's just like this is what's happening. It's like but we're here now, man. I
Yeah,
just think about that.
it's an amazing adventure video game
Yeah.
that we're in, simulation that we're in.
Yeah.
And different choices lead like different paths, like you said. Speaking of paths, so getting to work in Temecula after the 7 years of the club life, being burnt out, and I definitely understand that. And not enough DJs talk about that. I see a lot of DJs posting their schedule of 30 gigs in 30 days, right? But they don't show the
Dude, that's a
aftermath.
lot.
It's
Yeah.
too much. You know, I've done it. I'm guilty of it because we
Hmm.
live in a survival mode of
It's
chaos.
the way we're built,
Yes,
it's the
because
way we're
we
built.
don't have, when we say no, someone else takes it and maybe we don't get that call again.
Yeah.
And, or, I would love to be at your birthday celebration, but I got to feed my family and I got booked over here to make $1,000 to pay my rent. Your party, I love you, but your party ain't going to pay my rent.
Yeah, bro. Like, dude,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of sacrifice and things that the flip side, the underbelly that you don't see. So I'm glad that you mentioned.
We don't know, bro.
No, and I'm glad you mentioned that it takes a a certain type of person, a partner, because I do have a lot of DJ friends that are single, and the DJ life is already lonely, right? You need somewhere to come back and decompress, and we're blessed enough to have children and spouses to
understand too.
Yes, and kind of give us that shutdown mode where we can just be comfortable and present rather than always having to serve and deal with people's problems, because
I think that's what's cool. What I love is being able to kind of shut it off. You know what I'm saying? Like I know DJs that it's like I get it, like they live, eat, breathe it, but it's like all they do. Like, it's constant, like going through emails, going through like record pools, going on this, and I'm like, dude, I wanna watch this cooking video. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's still like I still have that passion for it. There's other things that I want to experience as well.
well, it's important to balance your life.
Balance,
It's okay. It's okay to be obsessed, but as you get older and your responsibilities become more, and your children grow, and they need different things from you than they did when they were 3, at 7 and 9 and 15 and 22.
Yeah.
And to be present through all that, I think you just kind of get some clarity on what's important to you, and being able to decompress, because we live a high cortisol life. Like it's high cortisol. It raises our stress levels. We may look calm and cool back there, but we're thinking 5 songs ahead. We're thinking about the Karen that's telling us it's too loud or wants to hear something she can dance to. We're thinking about the bartender that is like, we're thinking about a million different things, and while also doing our job. And people think that it's that we're just partying and playing records. I think that's why a lot of DJs drink a lot, is to numb that stress.
Bro, I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
It's a slippery slope, right? Because we get free alcohol. We're in the environment of entertaining these people that are also on a low vibration, of coming to medicate their problems and deal with their issues. So we meet them at their level and then try to take them to a higher vibration. But we have to actually, a lot of the time we get caught up in the drinking with them, because me and Rico talk about this, is like we're there to sell drinks. So if we're not drinking, that kind of, people are like, oh, you're not drinking? Oh, I guess, well, maybe I won't drink either. And then bar sales go down, and then my rate is not being valuable to the bar. And it's a slippery slope, because, we get free alcohol. We're drinking with our friends. It's always somebody's celebration, right?
It's someone's birthday,
right?
Like,
and
they even have these girls are going out now. They're even having celebration of getting divorced now. Like, I'm like, what?
Divorce parties, yeah.
Divorce parties, or I'm like, dang man, you guys are just celebrating anything now.
Yeah, and for us, we want to celebrate with them. We don't want to bring down their energy or their excitement. So we sacrifice our livers and our blood pressure and to drink.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of guys getting sober now, though, and because a lot of guys are dropping. A lot of guys are dropping.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. You know, I'll just say I feel comfortable talking about this. So I got my first DUI in 19 summer, coming from San Diego, and it was one of those nights. Like, I was drinking most of the nights, right? But it was one of these nights I didn't really drink that much, but I drank like the tail end of my shift, and I ended up, I got pulled over. I was speeding, and I ended up getting my first DUI, dude. Which was, I'm like, well, uh, this is it. Like, I know a lot of DJs who's got multiple ones or even have one, and that's fine. But I'm open to talking about it. But that's kind of what led. I mean, from then till now. But dude, I had to slow down on the drinking.
Yeah.
Big, 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 big time, man. Like, uh, yeah, dude, it's just been like sobriety, man. It's a tricky one for sure, especially being in the nightlife.
Yeah.
Not just DJs, but like anyone who's in it, dude. Like bar girls or bartenders, security, all this stuff. Like, bro, like there's a lot of things I see behind the scenes that I'm like, bro, like everyone is just, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone.
It's a dark place.
It could be a dark place,
It can
bro. And
be.
if you let it consume you, man, like it could be, like
Yeah, overwhelming.
overwhelming, bro.
Yeah, I can share in that experience as well. You know, I got this wasn't coming back from a nightclub. It's actually coming back from a wedding, and
Okay.
I got popped for running a
You were
stop
DJing?
sign. Yeah, I was DJing a wedding.
Okay.
My mom was there feeding me rum and cokes. God bless my mom's soul. She was just trying to make sure baby boys having fun.
Yeah.
But I drove back to my buddy's house who I was borrowing speakers from. Shout out to Numbiz. And I rolled a stop sign in his neighborhood because I always roll that stop sign, right? Because it's just a neighborhood. It's like
Is
1
it
o'clock.
close to your house or his
It's
house?
in Carlsbad.
Okay.
I'm coming back from San Diego, and I roll the stop sign, and there's and as I roll the stop sign, I see 2 cop cars sitting right there. I'm like, shit. And lo and behold, they lit me up as I was already parked in his driveway, and I was like out of the car already, trying to hurry up and get out. Anyway, popped me for driving under the influence. I failed the breathalyzer. They took me to the station, and I ended up blowing under, so they gave me a wet reckless.
Okay, you got
Right?
lucky.
Yes.
I blew one over, bro.
Yeah, but still, they're still going to get you for something. Still, we shouldn't be doing it. And the lesson learned there.
Doing it all.
Yeah, lesson learned there is thank God we didn't kill nobody, kill ourselves, wreck anything or damage anything.
Yeah.
And learn the lesson. You know, sobriety is a slippery slope, especially in the nightclubs. Like, it's part of the relationships that we have. You know, you drink, you bond over alcohol. It's in our culture as society as a whole. And when you stop drinking or tell someone, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, it's not that you're not drinking, it's that it reflects on them, like, dang, maybe I shouldn't drink, or do I have a problem? Like, that's what makes people uncomfortable about people that really speak on sobriety a lot. And, you know, I never understood counting the days until I tried my longest sober route. And it's not about the number of days, like you're bragging about the days. It's the weight weight of the days on top of each other. Like 776 days. Do I want to drop all those days for this little experience that's going to make me live with regret and tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So as the days stack, that's why people count their sobriety. I never understood that until, you know, I went and got on my mission.
I think that's kind of one thing I'm kind of noticing too, because I'll be honest too, man. I'm still actively going to AA meetings to this day.
That's good. You need support. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you definitely need support, man. I just want to give, shout out to anybody like that's taking the sobriety journey. You're not alone for sure. So like anybody out here in the local area, if you guys want to go to a meeting, hit me up. Dave Rukus. I'll help you go to a meeting. I'll show you where all the meetings are. But yeah, I'm actively going still to this day.
That's dope, man. Because we need to express ourselves, you know. And I think that a lot of people drink because it allows them to. They're more likely to express themselves freely, and there's a lot of pent up emotions and things that people need to say that they bury a lot because we're afraid of judgment or confrontation or relationship or risking relationships. And
it's like therapy. It's basically
it is. And communication is therapy. You know, people don't have enough non-judgmental space. We are living in a society that is constantly being recorded, video recorded, audio recorded, facial recognition. There's no safe space for people to express themselves. And that's another thing that I want to get back to. You know, you've seen the clips. We've talked about the dancing in the nightclubs. When you
mentioned like that whole low vibrational stuff, that kind of reminds me of, okay, so like it also has to do with the music too.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's like, I'm like, man, I don't want to listen to this low vibrational music because it brings down your like the it's like
it brings out your frequency,
lower chakra, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely traumatic.
There's science behind it too.
Yes, I mean the frequency that it's at and
the frequency. There you go.
The keys that it's in is definitely low vibrational, and it's meant to keep you down there, to keep you sedated and not conscious, and programming your subconscious to stay there and not climb out. And another thing with the dancing, I was going to say, is dancing is so therapeutic. Dancing is the best therapy. Sure. You know, when you go to, like, I used to take these method acting classes up in Los Angeles when I was there. And that was part of it. You get in a circle and you put on music and you just go. You just let your body flow and you let loose and you make noise and you jump up and down or whatever the music does to your body, just almost in a tribal sense. Doing that creates like this emotional rush of like, you almost get like a lump in your throat. the freedom of freedom, the feeling of freedom is so overwhelming. Yes, that to be, yes, and it's, you know, I used to like break out in tears in the middle of this, and that's something that in acting that they use to, like, you know, method actors use as they tap into characters, and you see them cry on in the film because they're actually reaching down and bringing up that emotion
Yeah,
that
they have to
creates
like
that.
reach for some traumatic
Yeah,
event. They
yeah.
have
So,
to revisit that to
mm-hmm,
feel that
mm-hmm.
emotion. And I'm like, dude, that takes a lot.
Yeah, I
That's
did that for like 3 years.
that's crazy.
but
Wait,
it,
so did you get any like acting
well, yeah,
stuff?
I used to, well, some stuff here and there, nothing major, but a lot of pilots, a lot of commercials. I did a lot of music videos and a lot of print work I used to do back in the day. But I just couldn't deal with the rejection of, I would prepare, and I didn't realize egotistically, I thought, this is mine. I'm the best. I'm going in there. I rocked that audition, and then not getting it was like so disappointing because I fired myself up so much for it, and then the letdown. And then also being a DJ at the same time and living that same
Oh,
type of
okay.
rejection life.
Was that feeling worse than like getting like a thumbs down while you're DJing? Do you know
It's
what I mean?
almost,
Like it's like,
no,
oh
no.
man, this
It's
DJ
almost,
sucks.
you know, thumbs down is
Oh,
almost better. Thumbs down is almost better because, you know, it's instant. It's
yeah,
instant. I know you don't like it right now. With
yeah.
auditions, you have to wait and you have to wonder, and there's no explanation of why you didn't get it. And what I didn't realize then when I was first getting in it, that wasn't really about how great you are at it. It's the relationships, just like everything else. It's the
Yeah.
relationships you have with the people that know you,
Yeah,
that
for
puts you in
sure.
position. They put you at the top of the list. They have a stack. Yes, they got to go through the motions, but there's a side pile of headshots right here that the people that are referred,
Mm,
right? Or the people that were written for the spot. If you can't get this guy, get somebody like this guy or that reminds
okay.
you of that spot.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of friends. I came up in the scene with a lot of dancer friends who deal with that same rejection, but they don't get paid as much as the actors that once they hit, the rejection is worth it once you hit something in acting.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough.
It's so tough. And hats
It's
off to
gotta
all my
be, yeah.
actors and dancers and
You better
everybody out.
have some, yeah, you gotta have
Every,
some grit.
yeah, everybody out there auditioning it. And it really takes a different kind of animal. Like you have to really, it's the same as professional athletes. And I use this a lot being a former and still, you know, I'm pretty athletic, but a former athlete. And I really got my mentality from that is if,
Man, you fit, bro.
well, you know, I
So
can't,
fit.
thank you. I can't let it go. It is that if the sacrifice and the work that you have to go through is worth it to you. If you
Yeah.
love that part of it, if you love the work of the sacrifice and the grit and the
The work
grind and the
ethic.
sweat and the blood and the scrapes and the tears and the rejection and the self-esteem tide of up and down, then by all means this is for you. But if you are fragile and need someone else's confirmation on how to feel about yourself, if you need someone else to tell you you're successful and you're great and need that affirmation from an outside source, then it's a tough world. You know, same as anybody that is subject to judgment on their art. You know, like good
Yeah.
DJs, actors, musicians, painters.
Dude, I have another story.
Yeah,
So
give it to
like,
me.
yeah, dude, so after the radio stuff, I was into DJ battles like hardcore. So back back in the day, like when I first started DJing, I didn't want to do parties or anything like that. I wanted just to learn how to. When I first saw a DMC video, that's all I wanted to do. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. How do I do this? What do I got to do? I was like, all right, that's what I want to do. But anyways, I started getting into battles later on. Guitar Center spinoff like
I
2006.
remember those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ended up entering one. I didn't do good. That's fine, whatever. But like later, I just kept doing them, and then like over here, I did the Red Bull. It wasn't Red Bull 3 Style. It was a different Red Bull competition in San Diego. I won that one, and then was it the finals? The
Congrats.
finals, huh?
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I was in the finals, and it was me and one other guy, and the prize was like $5,000 cash. This big old deal with like some liquor company, I don't know, and then like a residency at like Dave and Buster's or something like that. It was a lot, whatever.
That's dope.
And so like this battle, right? It was like based not just on your set and all this stuff. It was based on like how many people you bring. You know, one of those things, bro. I filled up a limo. I kid you not, a Hummer limo. I filled it up with people. Came through. I did good. I feel like I checked all the boxes off, and this one guy, I'm not gonna say his name.
Say his name.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Come on, I need clickbait for this podcast.
All right. You want me to?
Yeah, say his name. Who was it? Who beat you?
All right. It was I wonder if you know him, DJ Create.
Yes, I know of him. I don't know him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Create, CRE8, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just me and him, and I felt bad too, cause like I was like, I just let my emotions get the best of me, but like he only brought like 2 people, whatever. His set was, I don't want.
You thought
that
yours was
not-
better. You thought yours was better.
Well, dude, I thought like I had it in the bag because they were like naming like 3rd place, 2nd place, and I was like, dude, I got this shit. And then like they announced the winner, and everyone's like, it was
What?
like, what? Yeah, it was like I was like, and I was like, what the freak, like, and everyone in the crowd was like, what's going on here, like the crowd, dude. So I grabbed the mic from the host.
Oh,
I grabbed
you
the
got your
mic.
Kanye on?
I pulled a Kanye, bro. I grabbed the mic from the host, and everyone was like, and I was like, who wants to see me go 1-on-1 right now, like with this guy,
Oh
bro?
shit!
Like I was like,
There's the ruckus I'm looking for.
I just remember I could feel like my blood. I was like, dude, this is bullshit. Like I was just pissed, and I just remember I stormed out of there, and then like some of the people I went with, they had been drinking. You know what I'm saying? That like, nah, they didn't throw anything, but I just remember like one of my buddies was like, man, this is fucking bullshit.
It's all loud.
I was like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Like,
And took all your people and left.
it just took all my people and left, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck? It is what it is. But he had sent me a message like through DM on Facebook. He's like, yo, man, you should have won that stuff. And like,
Even he knew. Even he knew.
yeah, but I just like, I felt bad for like doing that. But I don't know. I just felt like I earned it,
Yeah. And that's the same.
But it was ego.
Yes, it's the
Straight
ego. It's the same thing
Straight
as
ego.
my auditions, right? Even for DJ gigs, when I was in Hollywood, it wasn't a lot of DJs. This is pre-Serato. So it was competitive. So there was a bunch of DJs with vinyl, but there's only like 5 guys doing all the dope shit, right? All the dope nights.
Was this like AM era?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's AM.
He was like doing freaking all the big ones.
Yeah.
But then he was getting so big that he was all
right,
the other guys.
Yeah, so that's when the Nux role came up, right? So I was right in that. I was like
right?
Dexstar.
Yeah.
This was before Dexstar.
Okay.
So when he started getting hot in the streets and he was booked out of town, there'd only be a short list of people that they would call to be able to fill those spots.
Roster.
Yeah, because it was like SBE. This wasn't even Dexstar. This is just through
SBE, I've heard of that company. They did all the big stuff.
All the big groups in Hollywood. They're the first group that really took over Hollywood.
Yes.
And I was resident with them.
I think they were doing like all the stuff with like the Hills and Laguna Beach.
They were their home clubs.
Yeah.
So when they would go out, they would come to SBE spot and they'd have full VIP and full filming ranges, and then people would go there because it was being filmed. Right? When I was at Tokyo, it was MTV Real World, and I was at this little place called Tokyo in Hollywood, and they would come there, film there every Thursday. So our shit was banging every Thursday.
That was the spot.
It was
Florentine Gardens still there?
It's still there, but they rent it out for different stuff. It's mostly like kid raves and Boys Town stuff.
And that place is iconic.
It is. I don't know. Hopefully they mark it as that as a landmark, so they don't tear it down.
It needs to be. Florentine Gardens has been there for a long time.
Yeah, because everything else is closing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, man, talk about some of the, DJ battle, coming up to the DJ battle, burying the ego. Was that like an instant reflection of like, damn, I shouldn't have done that? Or was that like later on?
I think because like the whole doing, like, I wanted to do DMC originally, but shout out to one of my boys, DJ Nonsense. He's the one that inspired me to like kind of push me to do all that stuff. But like it was a certain like attitude. Dang, my dog's coming in.
It's okay. Guest spot Marley.
Yeah. Marley, he's right here.
What's up, Marley? Yeah, of course. And Ja Rastafari.
Okay. Ow. But yeah, like like the whole battle stuff, it definitely comes with like ego and like territory, and like you had to have like this certain mentality type stuff. Like there was like no room for that humbleness.
Right. And I think that's what part of the
But yeah,
transition for older DJs, because a lot of us who are into hip hop, and before we were open format DJs, we were just, at least for me, I was just a hip hop DJ. I mean,
yeah,
I learned on disco and 80s and 70s funk and soul, but I loved hip hop, so I only want to play hip hop. And
yeah,
that persona of hip hop was very toxic masculinity, as they call it today, very bravado. We change
yeah,
our DJ name to be of an alias, so of our alter ego, which is the name that we named ourselves, Dave Ruckus,
yeah.
DJ Prophet. It's like it was that era
It had to
of
be like something like yeah, for
prestigious or
sure.
something strong or something
Yeah,
killer or something dangerous.
yeah.
You
But it's
know,
funny how you mentioned like the whole name, like the whole battle scene was like the whole all that stuff. Even like Dave Ruckus too. Like I'm not so ruckus no more. Just like you said. Like you know what I mean. Like I had to retire him, bro.
yeah,
Like
I feel
he
you.
got, bro. So me and my buddy when we get together, like when we get together and do gigs back in San Diego, he's like, "Were you half ruckus or full ruckus?" That meant like, how drunk were you?
Yeah.
Like that's what it meant. So if I was half ruckus, okay, that's a normal day. If I was full ruckus, that's wild now.
I love that. You look. Watch this. No, watch this. Same boat, parallel universe. So profit for short for the acronym is PROPHET. So it's Puerto Rican on point here every time. And what that entails
Oh,
is
wow.
that no matter where I am or where I'm booked, I'm going to show up there and kill it, right?
Yeah.
But that means no matter what level of inebriation that I'm at, because when I roll into town, we are turning the fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, from Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, everywhere I was going in the early 2000s traveling, everyone knew when I was coming to town, the party train was rolling.
Yeah.
So they would buy out, they would all find out. I would tell them where my hotel room was. They'd buy out the whole floor and we'd rock that bitch all weekend.
Damn. That sounds
And
fun.
yeah, it was. But that guy's retired, right? Now Prophet is now filled into his role as a wisdom and
Dude, yeah.
knowledge pass speaking and teaching
Yeah.
and but it's funny how times have changed, but
Dude,
I
it's
think
so funny.
you had to go through that in order to transform. You had to go
Yeah, dude.
through that fire in order to become who you're supposed to be, forged by the fire, as they say.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. So like after yeah, dude, I was thinking about that too as far as like you kind of like I feel like we're kind of similar. Like we kind of created this character, right?
Yes.
And it's like if we keep going at this rate, we're not gonna. This is not gonna end well. It's end well. Kind of. It's like it's almost like we know the ending to the movie,
Right.
but we're still gonna do it. And it's like I don't know, man. I think we need to just It
Yeah.
was. I just kind of knew. I guess that comes with growth. That comes with time. But I just knew it was time to like to dial it down because at that rate, I'm just like like, it was just certain events. Like started out with a DUI, and then
Yeah.
it trickles down to other stuff too. And it's just like, dude, like I gotta like really step up and you know kind of dial it in and all that.
Yeah, because
And also too, like the whole sleep schedule and party and all that stuff that messes up your whole circadian rhythm, bro.
yeah, and that's where your mental health kicks in or kicks out.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
you need to recover. Being stressed on the brain of always being
High
active,
cortisol.
high cortisol, loud music, boisterous, belligerent people, dealing with fight or flight, next gig mentality, it all piles up after a
Yeah.
while. And unless you start really dialing in and taking care of your health mentally, physically, emotionally,
All of them. Yeah.
diet,
All
uh,
of it.
you're not going to last. And we talked about this earlier. This is that age now. This is the first era of hip hop being 50 years old, right? Hip hop being 50 years old. And as our elders rise to this age, a lot of them don't make it past 50.
Yeah. Well, I was.
Fat Man
I,
Scoop, Biz Markie, uh, you know, AM, you know what I mean? All
dude,
these guys
yeah.
recently, there's been a plethora of guys dropping and having strokes and heart attacks, and I see all these
Dude,
GoFundMe's.
I had a buddy, man. He was a DJ. Rest in peace, man. He was 35, dude. He passed away at 35 from a heart attack because he was DJ partying hard, and it just like caught up. And like when I heard that news, I'm like, bro, that's my age. He's like my age, like
Yeah,
just
and
gone.
right, and I'm like, and I partied with that guy, so
Yeah,
thank God
exactly.
I'm not dead. So that's
And
a
I'm just like, bro, I need to chill. It's just, it's unfortunate, man. But yeah, man, I feel like the whole nightlife thing, it can really consume you if you really let it,
yeah. Well,
especially guys day in, day out.
yeah, and the busier you are, the more in the lion's
The more
den.
busy you are, yeah.
Yeah, you're in the
I
lion's den
scaled
every
back. I
night.
scaled back.
You have to. You have to. You have to. This is people ask how you do it, and this is how you do it. You don't put yourself in environments to where you are at risk. You got to
Mhm.
lessen up the environments. You don't jump in the ocean full of chum water, right? You're not.
Yeah.
You don't jump in the ocean with a bleeding artery.
Yeah,
You don't.
exactly.
You don't dwell. You don't dwell in the lion's den. You stay
Yeah.
out of those situations, and that's how you help it. And man, I'm
Yeah, dude, I think I had to start putting my health, everything first because I'm like, dude, if I keep putting myself in these unhealthy environments, I gotta step back. Like, it wasn't benefiting me. Like, yeah, getting a check, but I'm like, at what cost? You know what I mean?
right, and because it wears, and
It
this is
wears, dude. And I feel like only a handful of people, DJs, understand that, especially if you've been in the game. Because for me, it just passed 22 years of DJing, barely.
congratulations.
Yeah, so it's like, it's yeah, it's a wild ride.
Yeah, it's a long career, and most people,
Yeah,
most jobs you retire after 20 years from the
after 20 years,
military.
even the military. Oh, yeah.